quickest ways for you to look average as a man is let your wife or girlfriend pick out your clothing. And I'm not saying that she technically has bad taste, obviously, she picked you. But when it comes to your clothing, if you let her pick them, you will look average. Gentlemen, today my goal is simple, to help you not look average, like 99% of dudes out there, aka boring and basic. All right, so the first thing we're gonna talk about is your style. Gentlemen, if you want to look not average, start wearing clothing that fits your body. Stop not wearing clothing that looks like all of your boys. One of the things and mistakes that guys make is that they will look towards their peers or their coworkers or their friends and think, oh, I need to wear that. And when you do, you look boring and basic. Gentlemen, your style is your responsibility. Do better than the Gap. Now, hold on. The Gap's all right in terms of like finding some sensible basics. But if you just go with all basics and you're never spicing it up, gentlemen, you definitely look average. Your clothing needs to fit. It shouldn't be big and baggy. Your pants need to be not so roomy, right? They also shouldn't be super long. That's something else that makes guys look average. Their pants fit like shit. Their shoes are also terribly horrible, all right? Most guys, if you look down at their feet, it sucks. Do better. Spice it up. Upgrade your wardrobe, gentlemen. This also includes showing a little bit of skin, all right? Roll up your sleeves, expose the forearm, unbutton a little bit more, unbutton your shirt a little bit, 3 buttons, let the tiger out of the jungle. Gentlemen, you're a savage, but if you don't, you're gonna look average, all right? Something else I gotta talk about is accessories, right? Accessories are one of the great equalizers in terms of making you look better than everybody else. Choosing an appropriate accessory is a great way for you to spice up your style and not look average. Now, let's talk about your man boobs and love handles. You've got to do better. Your body, it sucks. And if you want to set yourself apart from everybody else, like 99% of other dudes, you've got to not be sloppy fat. Say no to the dad bod. Jacked! You don't need to actually get jacked, but you got to start doing better, gentlemen. You got to work out. You got to work those abs. You got to get that body fat down. You've got to do what you need to do to have a better body. Next time you're at the beach, I want you to look around, or the pool or the lake, or anywhere that dudes are taking their shirt off. Look around, what do you see? Exactly, you see a lot of dudes that have man boobs, a lot of dudes that have zero definition, or are just fat. Gentlemen, do better. If you want to set yourself apart from 99% of other dudes, don't have a dad body. And the beautiful thing, it doesn't take a lot to change it. You just got to exercise. You got to move your ass. You've got to lift heavy shit. You do this 4, 5, 6 times a week. You get your diet in check. You stop eating all the bad, trashy food. You stop drinking all the empty calories. You're going to be amazed at how much better you look. Speaking of looking, let's talk about your chubby little cheeks, weak jaw. Gentlemen, 2 things that make you look average, all right? Here's the deal. I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass. If you're somebody that just carries more fat in their face, or you just have around your face, there are some things that you can do to minimize that, but if you're just a regular dude who wants to have a more angular, sexy face, a few things you need to do. All right, number 1 is reduce the amount of carbohydrates you're consuming. When you reduce the carbs, typically you're gonna reduce the amount of water you're retaining in your face, which brings me to something else. Increase the amount of water you're consuming to at least 1 gallon a day. When you increase the water, decrease the carbs, your body is going to flush. You're also not going to retain as much water in your face. Also, reduce the amount of sodium you're consuming, all right? These 3 things are going to drastically improve the angularity of your face and make you look better than 99% of other dudes. And then you combine it with a beard or facial hair, next level, extra sexy, which brings me to the next thing that makes you look average, and that is being a puss about facial hair. Facial hair is kind of like the male equivalent to makeup for women, right? You know how a woman, you can see her, right? Not super sassy. She throws on a little smoky eye, a little lip gloss, and boom, she's like a 10. Beards do the exact same thing for dudes, all right? You take a dude that's got kind of a weak jaw, soft face, not really crazy good looking, and bang, you throw a beard on him, and he's freaking Jason Momoa. Something else we gotta talk about, speaking of him, is your hair. Something that makes you look average, I'm just throwing it out there, is a bad hairstyle. Take a risk, take a chance, grow it out, all right? I'm not saying you gotta have flowing locks like Momoa, but do something a little bit different than your boy Brad, all right? If you're losing your hair, you don't want to, there are things you can do, all right? Next thing that makes you look average is not wearing a fragrance, all right? And this is one that is like so annoyingly simple to fix, all right? If you wanna be average, don't wear a fragrance, or wear the same fragrance that your boys are wearing, all right? If you wanna do something that's going to instantly make you more attractive and stand out out from the crowd, wear an amazing fragrance, all right? The one that I wear is right here. It's Rebel by Pete and Pedro. This is inspired by Creed Aventus. Creed Aventus, unfortunately, is like $500 a bottle. So I went to my fragrance house and I said, hey, let's tweak it a little bit, make it more affordable, but equally sexy. And so you're gonna get as many compliments wearing this as you do Creed Aventus, which is, in my opinion, the most compliment-getting fragrance out there, all right? I've worn a ton of fragrances, and Creed Aventus, whenever I'd wear it, I'd get a ton of compliments. People were always asking me, oh, what are you wearing? You smell amazing, right? Setting myself apart from all the other dudes that smell boring and basic. Guys, Rebel is heavily inspired by Creed Aventus, but instead of $500 a bottle, it's literally under $50. But with that discount code down below, it's even more affordable, guys. It's insane. You're never gonna have a better fragrance that gets you more compliments than this for a better price, period. Stop smelling average. Upgrade your fragrance today. Hit the link down below, grab some Rebel, and smell sexy as hell. Next thing we got to talk about is body language, because this is something that absolutely makes guys look super average, all right? If you're somebody that has bad body language, whether or not it's a weak posture, all right? You're hunched over, you're always looking at your phone, you're not making eye contact, you've got a weak handshake, all right? When you look at somebody, you're not smiling, right? All the nonverbal communicating that you're doing is setting you apart from everybody else or making you blend in with everybody else. If you want to look better than 99% of other dudes out there, have better posture, have better body language, speak more eloquently, which is the next thing that makes you look average, and that is not being able to speak well. If you use a lot of filler words, if you're saying like, or if you're cursing a lot, this is something that honestly most people do. If you're somebody that has the ability to communicate well, which means you're not using a bunch of filler words saying like, you know what I'm talking about? You're looking people in the eye, you're engaging, you're actively listening, right? If you can communicate well, this is, in my opinion, like a superpower, because most people don't do a great job at it. I didn't. I ended up getting a lot better the more I shot video, because the more you practice communicating, the more you practice speaking or interacting with people, the better you're gonna get and the more easy it becomes, the more fluid it becomes. And so when you look at somebody like a Jordan Peterson or some of these other celebrities that are just amazing when it comes to speaking or getting a point across or telling a story, in my opinion, this is something that you should practice, because it's gonna set you apart from literally 99% of other dudes that speak like little boys. And the last thing that basically makes you look average is a lack of masculine edge or energy. And basically what this is, in my opinion, is confidence, right? It's that belief in yourself. It's knowing that you can do the job. It's also knowing who you are as a man and just standing up for yourself. And that's something that I feel like is lacking in so many people that I see. They don't look like they basically value themselves. They also don't look like they respect themselves. And they really are just failing when it comes to just presenting themselves in a masculine, positive, confident way. All right, if you want to set yourself apart from literally 99% of other dudes, respect yourself, stand up for yourself, be confident in the man that you are, because you are awesome.